Are you annoyed because your husband doesn't do enough for you? I've got great answers for you. If you are annoyed, like your husband, like, come on, like you're just standing there and you're looking at him and he's not doing something for you that you want him to do. He's not bringing the dishes up to the counter, or he just walks out of the kitchen after dinner without like helping or whatever. If your husband is doing something that you're annoyed about because he's not doing it for you, here's the game changer. At that very moment, do something for him. You're like, wait a minute, Leah, like, are you serious? Right? Do something for him in that exact moment. Here's what it does. It's very frustrating while you're doing it, especially the very first time you do it. But here's what it does. It trains your brain to, rather than looking for what he's going to do for you, which we spend most of our, well, maybe I should talk for myself. We spend most of our time doing, right? It shifts us from being a taker to being a giver at the exact moment when it penetrates our heart the most. So if you just think about this for a second, we all know that God gives us the strength to lift our hands, to smile, to frown, to what everything we do, we are given the permission by God to take whatever action we are taking. So here's a question for you. A robber is going into somebody's house and burglaring them and stealing the diamond ring from their great-grandmother, and he's in there and he's looking at the jewelry and he's stuffing things into his pocket, right? This robber. Is this mind-boggling? At that very moment, God is letting him breathe, and God is letting his legs work, and he's letting his arms work to do it. I don't know the spiritual realm of what, how it's going to come out or whatever. And I know that he gets demerits or he gets black marks for doing such a thing. But P.S., in the meanwhile, while he's taking and stealing and doing the wrong thing and exactly the opposite of what God wants from him, God is still letting him live. He's letting him breathe, walk, run, eat, still digest his food, everything that's going on. God still lets him do it. It's mind-boggling. So we know that we're meant to emulate God in terms of his character traits and everything he does, to grow ourselves, to be the best people we can be, to maximize our own potential, to be the mensches, to be good people, to be kind people. The way to do that is to take an example. If he can feed this guy, if he can let this guy breathe, who totally doesn't deserve to breathe, right? When our husband does something that annoys us, if in the heart of that moment we give to him, it turns us more godlike to be a giver from being a taker. And what we have to understand, when we are a taker, right, we're taking. The minute you start to demand from your husband and have high expectations of what he should be doing for you, and maybe he should have, I'm not saying that he did the right thing. I'm saying the more you focus on that and demand from him, the less love there will be in your marriage. So if instead, this is a spiritual thing, if instead you physically do something for him. So I'm saying he did this and that, and as he's leaving the kitchen, you're like, would you like a cup of tea? Right? Now you're thinking, now he's just going to, what am I, a schmata? I'm a little piece of rag. I'm a doormat with a welcome sign on it. Are you crazy, Leah? That giving while he's taking, it'll wake him up. It'll wake him up, not in the moment, not maybe, it might take many, many, many times, but he will, when you are pouring giving onto somebody, they can't help themselves. They have to give back. Unless there's a dysfunction or mental health issues and whatever, but a normal person, if you keep giving, like when you're somebody you're very close with, you have a friend and she keeps giving you gifts and calling you and, oh, you want to come here and whatever, you just naturally gravitate, unless they're stalking you, in which case forget that stuff. But I'm just saying, this is something to try at home. If when somebody is taking from you, you train yourself to give to them, it'll give you strength and you'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel strong, like you're doing the right thing. It might cause resentment. So if it's going to cause resentment, maybe don't do it. But as much as you can, try and grow yourself into be a bigger giver, especially when your husband isn't giving to you. This is Leah.
Well, Leah, then I have to add something.
Okay.
Because our ladies need to be givers also. And the best way to give is by liking and subscribing to our channel because it's the truth. Because honestly, when you like and subscribe, we get more hits. We are more on top.
That's
People
good.
get to see us, and we can produce more videos. So,
that's not why I wrote this thing. I didn't know she was going to say that.
But it was such a powerful message. I'm like, I'm throwing that in.
Thank you, Sarit. Okay, this is Leah Richheimer for the Ladies Talk Show. We'll see you next time.